comes to asking for money, or wondered if it's unfeminine or unspiritual to make strong, consistent sales, this episode is for you, because sales is the lifeblood of our business, right? And I know you want to make good money. I know you do. I've heard you say it time and time again. And what I want to talk about today is ownership, not just the internal kind. I want to show you how ownership becomes the backbone of a new kind of sales, feminine, sacred, sovereign sales, right? That's powerful and deeply aligned. Even if you're an introvert, even if you're an extrovert, or even if you're not sure what you are, but it feels uncomfortable. It's always felt uncomfortable for women, right? And so ownership isn't just about the mindset, it's an embodiment. It's how you walk into a sales conversation. It's how you talk about your offer with pride, and it's the energy behind your price, okay? And here's the kicker. When you're feeling in your full ownership, you don't need to convince anyone of anything. Instead, you lead, you invite, you guide, right? And the right people say yes, not because you push, but because you stand in your truth. This is the new era of sacred feminine selling. So let's talk about the fear of it, right? Let's name it. Many of us were raised to not rock the boat, to be generous, but not ask for much, right? That we're supposed to be the givers and the nurturers, but we're not supposed to receive. And we're supposed to help others, but we're not supposed to highlight our value. I think that's such an important thing to really let land, is that, we're supposed to help others, but we're not supposed to highlight our value, right? So when it comes time to ask for money, it feels icky and like we're doing something wrong, But here's a new truth I want you to try on. Selling is so sacred. It's one of the most intimate moments that you will have with a client. It is that dig in and get to the truth. And we're looking for right resonance. We're not looking for always a yes, right? Because when sacred selling is done right, it's one of the most honest, empowering conversations you can have. You'll actually fall in love with it, which is why I have fallen in love with it, because it's this deep intimacy of relationship and discovering, are we a match? Do we work well together? Can I really help this person? Is this person willing to be coached? To me, that's way more what I'm looking for in a conversation. We can get to yes if it's a match. We can figure out the money if it's a match. Those actually aren't the hard things, but you're taught that those are what's supposed to be hard. So you avoid it like the plague, okay? So what does sovereign sales really, really mean? What does it really take? And over the years, I've seen women shift inside of my teachings about this, from barely making ends meet to having sold out programs, steady clients, and real income flow. One of my first clients was $20,000 in debt, and her daughter had a very big expense coming up, and her ex-husband just let her know that there was not going to be any more alimony. He was going bankrupt. And she was met with this challenge. Today, she runs a 7-figure business traveling the world. She has a life she completely loves, and she can afford things that she really wants to do, right? And this was one of the things we really, really worked on, was that it wasn't about grinding harder, but it was by selling through sovereign energy. What does that mean? It means that the transformation your work creates, and you stand for that as a truth, okay? And you're clear on who it's for and who it's not for, right? It's not about everybody. If we all got 1/1000th of the percentage of clients that there are that are possible, we'd be doing phenomenal, okay? And that you speak in a truth-telling tone. I know that I make a lot of facial expressions. I hear about it all the time from my friends and my partner, right? And all of that about, you have so many faces. I know exactly what you're thinking, right? And when I'm thinking and I'm strategizing, I actually get a furrowed brow, and people think that I'm angry, and I'm not. And so, if you're just getting to know me, that's part of how I roll. But the speaking in a truth-telling tone is not one that manipulates or overpromises. You invite instead of chase. You allow for a yes or a no or a not now without losing your center, right? That's what this means is the biggest fear isn't about overcoming objections or challenges that people are going to bring to you. It's about that you might lose your center, right? And that feels embarrassing, okay? That's what this is really about. Why I get so passionate about it is because being sovereign is holding that center, knowing the truth, knowing that your transformation is worth the price that you're asking for it. And this is what feminine sales mastery really is. It's not about closing, it's about connecting. It's about opening up a relationship. And it starts with one of the hardest conversations you'll ever have with a client. So why not get it out of the way? So here's where this gets really real about how to sell sovereignly. And I want to walk you through it, what actually looks like to sell with ownership, that you can own this transformation that you deliver. The first thing is that you know your offer is a solution, not a plea. You're not begging for help, right? You're not hoping they'll say yes. You're offering a solution to a problem they're ready to solve, okay? And second, you price with integrity, not what you think they can afford, but what creates a full-bodied exchange, fair, sustainable, regenerative for both of you. Okay. So I know there's a big rub around pricing because you want to price in a way that you think will get you the easiest yes. And that's what's going to create resentment inside of you. It's going to create a sense of overworking. And it's not going to allow for you to show up in your full leadership when you're not compensated fairly. Okay. So pricing with integrity means that you're being true to yourself and you're being true to the transformation. It's a big difference. Okay. Well, a lot to say about pricing. We'll do a whole episode on it. All right. And then you got to have a simple enrollment conversation. It doesn't have to be convoluted or complicated. It's not a pitch. It's a truth aligned dialogue that starts with asking what they're struggling with, and then going into that and really getting what it would look like if they were on the other side of that and sharing in that visionary space with them, and then share how you can help. Let them feel into it. Let your energy lead. Okay. That will do more than any fancy scripts. All right. And the other thing is that really be willing to let go of the outcome, because this is sovereignty in action. In order to receive a full-bodied yes, you have to also receive a full-bodied no. And there are times when it's not the right fit, it's not the right time, it's not the right person, and there are millions of ways to overcome their objections. But at the end of the day, you want to be able to be fully receptive to either a yes or a no, because yeses are easier. They come more easily when we do that, right? And you're not attached, you're devoted, and that's a different thing. I get it, right? You still feel uncomfortable asking for money. And it took me years to stop shrinking when I named my price. But here's what helped me and what I teach my clients. You're not taking anything from anyone. You're creating a pathway for someone to actually really rise up, to get a transformation, to have a shift in their life. And your work is a bridge to their next level. And that bridge has a toll, not because you're greedy, but because energy must be honored. There's an exchange of transformative value. And also, someone pays for something. They're investing in their embetterment, right? In their well-being, in their ability to move forward. And that's what creates the connection for the actual deep work to get done. Okay. And so inside my year-long program, we're going into this deep, and not just how to make offers, but how to make them from your feminine truth, and how to sell without selling your soul, how to be magnetic, not manipulative, and how to let your wisdom speak louder than your fears. And so if this is resonating with you, just know there's a pathway for you. I am offering a 3-day training, a 3-step training to create your 6-figure offer that sells. And I want to show you how to do this. Okay. So let me ask you, what would change in your life if you felt truly aligned with what you're offering, totally at peace, asking for money? If your gifts were honored, celebrated, and compensated fully? Leave me a comment. Share this with a sister who needs it. And if you're ready to embody this way of selling, stay tuned. And there's a link below. I want you to register and I want you to come and attend this 3-day training because there's so much I want to give to you. Until the next time, remember, you are the offer, you are the value, and you're allowed to own